Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Washington Post, Bezos propaganda wing. It was published on May 18th. It's written by two people, by Damian Paletta and Josh Dawsey. It is one hell of a propaganda piece, you know, basically to cover Amazon here, Bezos's baby. It's a little bit ridiculous. Now, what's funny is if this was coming from, say, another outlet, it would be one thing. But when it's coming from the Washington Post, and Bezos owns both the Washington Post and Amazon, you have to take what's in here with a grain of salt in this article. Trump personally pushed Postmaster General to double rates on Amazon, other firms. Well, when it's costing the United States millions of dollars, the Postal Service has been running, at a deficit for over a decade. Something needs to be done. Now, the deal that Amazon has with the United States Postal Service is a secret agreement, which to me, when something is secret and you're dealing with a government agency, never a good thing. But let's get into the article here that Damian and Josh wrote. I wonder if this fucking Damian, if you were to move his hair around on his scalp, if he has any, if there's a 666 on it by chance. President Trump has personally pushed U.S. Postmaster General Megan Brennan to double the rate the Postal Service charges Amazon.com and other firms to ship packages, according to three people familiar with their conversations. A dramatic move that probably would cost these companies billions of dollars. Now, here's the thing, okay? These three people, anonymous sources. Washington Post has had some problems with their anonymous sources being full of shit. So hasn't a lot of the outlets in the legacy media, like CNN and a few others. And the thing is cost them billions of dollars. They make record fucking profits. Record fucking profits. Now, to me, capitalist society, I don't care if the U.S. Postal Service is a government agency. Why shouldn't they try to get theirs? I mean, these companies are sure as shit trying to get theirs, like Amazon. So what's wrong with the Postal Service getting their cut? See, that's the thing, all right? Even though the Postal Service is a government agency, okay, it's a business. Plain and simple. And businesses need to be run at a profit. Otherwise, they fold up shop. But because the Postal Service is also a government agency, that can't just happen. So it's been running at a deficit for 11 years. It's been running in the red. And something needs to change at this point. Brennan has so far resisted Trump's demand, explaining in multiple conversations occurring this year and last that these arrangements are bound by contracts and must be reviewed by a regulatory commission. The three people said. She has told the president that Amazon's relationship is beneficial for the Postal Service and gave him a set of slides that showed the variety of companies in addition to Amazon that also partner for deliveries. Oh my God. So your three anonymous sources, because they do say that these are anonymous later in the article, say, oh, well, she said this, but the president is the end-all, be-all in the government. So that means if he says something in regards to this, you're supposed to do what he says. Which kind of makes me wonder about Brennan, because to me, Brennan would want to do what's best for the Postal Service, and this is not what's best for the Postal Service. Because it really isn't. And she's trying to say that it is to him, and like he's fucking stupid, and the Washington Post is trying to play it like he's stupid. Okay? Everyone tries to play it like Trump is stupid, but yet Trump keeps proving he is not stupid. I mean, just to prove the point, Oh, well, Trump is so dumb that she dumbed it down so much that she took PowerPoint and made slides. I mean, come on now. He's had his heartbeat on the business world. I think he knows a thing or two and has a clue here. I mean, this is ridiculous. Despite these presentations, Trump has continued to level criticism at Amazon. And last month, his critiques culminated in the signing of an executive order mandating a government review of the financially strapped postal service that could lead to major changes in the way that it charges Amazon and others for package delivery. And I say fucking good. Because again, when you are running over a decade in deficit, like 11 years, when you're at that point, something needs to change. You're costing the American taxpayers money. Not only are they paying you to deliver their packages, oh my God, they're paying for these deficits that you're running. They have to make up the difference there. Why not streamline, actually go in and start running the post office like a damn fucking business? I mean, the whole thing is when you have... I'm sorry. This just really frustrates me because you clearly have a propaganda piece here from the Washington Post that Bezos told them to put out to try to garner sympathy for his Amazon by, like, trying to make this bullshit. Like, well, there's also sympathy that they want to go towards the Postal Service, and Brennan in particular. But they're going to sling this bullshit and actually expect people to buy it. I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, because the thing is they're trying to make it sound like change is bad. But when the status quo, as I've said, leads to 11 years of a deficit, you need to change. Few U.S. companies have drawn Trump's ire as much as Amazon, which has rapidly grown to be the second largest U.S. company in terms of market capitalization. For more than 3 years, Trump has fumed publicly and privately about the giant commerce and service company and its founder, Jeffrey P. Bezos, who is also the owner of the Washington Post, because they don't want people to go, oh, well, yeah, this is just clearly a propaganda piece. They figure if they throw this last part in here, oh, well, look, we admit our owner is Bezos, but still, just take this article at face value. Because, look, we're honest about this part. Yeah, okay. And the funny thing is, more than a few companies have drawn Trump's ire, on the note of Amazon on that level, okay? But the thing is they decided not to play chicken with him. Look at Carrier. Look at automakers like Ford. Look at Apple. All these companies have decided to at least in part bring some manufacturing back to this country. Because they didn't want to play chicken with him. But yet Bezos, being the cocky dumb fuck that he is, thinks that he's going to play chicken with the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, and actually win. That is like monumental levels of stupidity. It really is. But yet, here he is trying to do just that. Trump alleges that Amazon is being subsidized by the Postal Service, which is a proven fact, actually. What was it? The Wall Street Journal, less than a year ago? Or was it about a year ago? Did an article on Amazon. And it said that it cost the U.S. taxpayers over $1 per package. It was like $1.70 something. Like, it's costing us total out of our pocket. Not what we could be making. It was like $1.75 or something like that. And I wish I could think of the article so I could find it again, but this was proven that it's costing American taxpayers money to do these things. Okay, so to me, when you are being subsidized, which is a documented fact, you should, hear, oh, it's alleged. No, it's a fact. One of your, fellow members of the legacy media actually reported on it. He has also accused the Post of being Amazon's chief lobbyist as well as a tax shelter. False charges. Bullshit! Bullshit! The Washington Post runs at a larger deficit proportionately than the United States Postal Service. I mean, the Washington Post is a freaking money hole that Bezos keeps dumping money in to avoid taxing it. And it is chief lobbyist. Okay, he's putting it nicely. I think he's flat out said, and if he hasn't, I'm going to say it. The Post is Amazon's biggest propagandist. It is Bezos's biggest propagandist. And those charges are not false. He says Amazon uses these advantages to push brick and mortar companies out of business, exactly, which is his intent. Basically, what he's done is he's taken it a step further than Walmart, except he's focused online. Okay, Walmart will go in and wipe out your brick and mortar locations, like will wipe out your mom and pops. Then it ends up employing a large part of the community. And those communities become dependent in one way, shape, or form to Walmart. See, that's not going to happen with what Amazon's doing. It's just going to wipe out communities, and you're not going to have people dependent on Amazon because they're not going to be employing those people. So it's even worse than what, say, Walmart is doing. And the idea is Amazon wants to be the company where you buy all of your shit from. That's basically their goal. And the only way you can do that is to literally drive your mom and pops and your brick and mortars out of business. Some administration officials say several of Trump's attacks aimed at Amazon have come in response to articles in the Post that he did not like. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Because he's been calling out the Washington Post for the fake news bullshit that it is since before he was president. I don't think he cares what the Post has to say about him. Because people, if they're not these whacked out, fucked up, Kool-Aid drinking, liberal, leftists, Democrat-loving fuckwits, they know what's what. Because they can read this and see how full of shit and propaganda this is. I think they can figure the same thing out when you're going after Trump when, Bezos' girl was Hillary Clinton. And he's still butthurt that she lost. So why don't we talk about the fact of who's butthurt here? Who's more butthurt? The guy who became president and smacked your bitch? Like the fucking money whore that she is? Smacked her down and showed what a fucking scumbag piece of shit that she is in the process? That guy? Or you, who banked on getting that bitch in office so that, you would have her owe you a favor because you helped with the Washington shitpost propaganda and everything else. On the scales of butthurt, I think Bezos is, weighing in way more than Trump is. Yet, we got to try to spin that. There's just a bit of projection. The three people familiar with these exchanges spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the White House's internal deliberations. How fucking convenient. How convenient. I mean, hell, if it wasn't for all these anonymous sources, sources, like New York Times and the Washington Post, they'd be screwed. They wouldn't have anything to write about. Brennan and Trump have met at the White House about the matter several times, beginning in 2017 and most recently 4 months ago, the three people said. The meetings have never appeared on Trump's public schedule. Brennan has spent her career at the Postal Service, starting 32 years ago as a letter carrier. In 2014, the Postal Service's Board of Governors voted to appoint her as Postmaster General. Yeah, the Obama administration. Huh, interesting. One of the more corrupt administrations out there that was in bed with the automakers, the banks, drug cartels, giving El Chapo weapons with Operation Fast and Furious. Yeah, we should just trust the people that he appointed. Like those, legislating from the bench judges that he appointed during his tenure. Yeah, okay, And what gets me is who the president meets with is on a lot of levels, we're not going to know everyone. I mean, because of whatever reason. That's not a big deal. But yet, oh my God, look at this. Meeting with him secretly. Yeah, and if anything, I don't care. So he's telling the person to do their job, do what he's telling them to do, which is, I don't know, maybe look into the fact of how we're getting porked by Amazon. Huh. And the funny thing is they got to just throw in here for no reason the fact that Brennan, look at this, worked her way up to Postmaster General. Big fucking whoopee. That's how all of them do it for the most part. So I don't know how that makes her fucking special. Should we be giving her a medal, a cookie, what? I love how they start out this next paragraph here. Clouding the matter even further, Trump's aides have also disagreed internally about whether Amazon is paying enough for the Postal Service, with some believing the giant commerce company should be paying more, while others believe that if it weren't for Amazon, the Postal Service might be out of business, according to the three people. Amazon isn't paying their fair share. It's actually costing us money. And I wish I could remember the title of that article. And I believe, like I said, it was the Wall Street Journal. But it's costing us like $1.75 or something like that as American taxpayers per package. And that's on what Amazon's shipping through the Postal Service. And the thing is they should be paying more. What? All right. Why should, when you, the Postal Service, you can't have it both ways. Either the Postal Service is going to be a for-profit company, or it's going to be a government-run welfare case. Yet they want to try to do it both ways. You can't do that. And if you look at how postal services that are not run for profit around the world are run, it costs a hell of a lot more to ship something with the Postal Service than it does with a private company. You would think when the Postal Service, in theory, in a lot of cases, in reality, is cheaper than, UPS, FedEx, DHL, or any other, shipping service. You'd think that they would have people, knocking down their door to ship shit with them. And they would be turning a profit. I wonder how much money it is actually costing you, me, and every other American in tax money when it comes to the Postal Service. To cover up the losses that they're getting on things like these contracts with Amazon. I'm really curious. Because you know what? When you're running at an 11-year deficit and you're... oh, because this last part... I'm sorry, I just get a kick out of this. When you're running an 11-year deficit, if it wasn't for Amazon, the Postal Service might be out of business. Really? I think on that note, it would be the American taxpayer. If it wasn't for us, the U.S. Postal Service would be out of business because we're subsidizing that shit. Oh my God. Trump has met with at least 3 groups of senior advisors to discuss Amazon's business practices, probing issues such as whether they pay the appropriate amount of taxes or underpay the Postal Service, according to the 3 people. Well, yeah, Amazon is using the system to get out of paying a shit ton of taxes that they should probably be paying. And I'm a libertarian. To me, I think tax code should be, I'm a libertarian but I'm a minarchist, and I understand that, you need money to fund the government, and income tax to me is the wrong way to go. There are tariffs and other ways of doing it, but the thing is here, you can also tax other products and stuff like that, but income tax is wrong. And the thing is if we got to pay it, they should have to pay it. Bottom line. And here we are. We look at the fact of sounds like they're trying to make it sound like it's a bad thing that he's got seniors advisors probing, into things on whether or not these companies are paying their fair share of taxes or fucking over the Postal Service. Like, oh, look at what he's doing here. That's a good thing. But yet you're trying to make it sound like it's not. I wonder why. These groups include Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, then National Economic Council Director Gary Cohn, and Domestic Policy Council Director Andrew Bremberg. Bremberg has served as a key liaison with Brennan. One of Amazon's biggest defenders within the White House was Cohen, who had told Trump that the Postal Service actually made money on payments Amazon made for package delivery. Cohen announced his departure from the White House in March. Now, the funny thing is, this is a secret agreement. No one knows what the fuck's in it. Cohen don't know? Okay? He's just going by what Bremberg, I'm sure he's just going by what Brennan, why did I say Bremberg? Because we're talking about Bremberg too. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm sure he's just going by what Brennan said. I'm sure the ones that are telling him anything are going by what Brennan said. She's the only one that knows what's in this agreement. The president doesn't even know because it's a quote-unquote secret fucking agreement. Now, to me, when the country makes a deal with a company or a foreign power or whatever, I think the president should be privy to what the fuck is actually in the goddamn fucking agreement. That's just common sense here. But yet, no, we can't have that. It's secret. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. The White House, the Postal Service, and Amazon, as well as Bezos via an Amazon spokesman, declined to comment for this report. While Trump has leveled a variety of criticisms at Amazon, his efforts to increase the company's shipping and delivery costs stand as the only known official action he's taken to go after the company. Oh, no, this isn't about going after the company. This is about making a situation right, making the United States whole, okay, making a fair deal. Because clearly this is not a fair deal. The company, meanwhile, has tread carefully around Trump. Yeah, okay. It has dramatically expanded its spending on lobbying in the past few years, according to data from the Center for Responsive Politics. Oh, God. Yeah, okay. But Amazon officials have not been directly engaged with White House officials about the review, according to the 3 people familiar with the White House deliberations, as well as others familiar with Amazon's approach. So what you're saying is that when they're trying to figure out if Amazon is fucking us, fucking the American people, fucking the United States government, fucking the Postal Service, they should be involved in figuring out if they're fucking us. Are you serious? Oh, wait, you are. You think that's right and normal. No, when they're corrupt, if they're screwing us over, why should they be involved in figuring out if they're screwing us over? That makes absolutely no sense at all. The company has, however, hosted more than a dozen lawmakers and governors at numerous Amazon facilities across the country to impress upon them the company's economic footprint and job creation potential. Really? The same Amazon that's looking to put out of work most of its warehouse staff using robots. Huh. Okay. The same Amazon that Bezos had, besides himself, pumped shit tons of money towards Democrats. Okay? I'm sure a lot of those, the dozen lawmakers and governors, I'm sure a lot of them are on the fucking take. I'm sure they are. I'd put money on it. On March 7, when the company announced that it would be building a new fulfillment center in Missouri and hiring 1,500 employees, it alerted the state's 2 U.S. senators on Twitter, Democrat Claire McCaskill and Republican Roy Blunt. Ooh, big fucking whoop. Yeah, and as soon as you get your robots going the way you want them to go, bye-bye most of those 1,500 people. Trump has berated Amazon in the post on social media. No, he's called them out, but alright. Briefly driving down Amazon's stock price for calling out Amazon shit. See, this is what I love. Okay, so literally calling out Bezos, the Washington Post, and Amazon is berating them now. Interesting spin. And then the fact of calling them out causes the price of Amazon stock to drop. So that's his fault. It's not the fact of the information that he put out there that caused the drop in the stock. It's the fact that he... Oh, wow. This is funny shit. This is some funny shit. And he has said publicly that he doesn't believe the information he has been presented by some of his advisors and Brennan herself regarding the Postal Service contracts with Amazon. Because, you want to know why? Because the agreement is fucking secret. And the president himself cannot see what's in it. Jesus H. Christ Almighty. When you have that being the case, that the president himself is not privy to what's inside it, and he has to take and deal with the fact that people are blowing smoke up his ass, of course he's going to call it out. He's not stupid. I am right about Amazon costing the United States Post Office massive amounts of money for being their delivery boy, he tweeted on April 3rd. Amazon should pay these costs, plus, and not have them borne by the American taxpayer. They should be paying the costs and not have them borne by the American taxpayer. And I love how you put the plus and the braces here. Because now you're changing the context of what he was saying. Because what he was saying is Amazon should pay these costs and not have them borne by the American taxpayer. Period. Not costs plus. But see, you've got to change the context, because if you don't change the context, you can't push the bullshit that you are. Many billions of dollars PO leaders don't have a clue, or do they? Unless he put those in the braces, but I think you might have. I don't know. You've got it in the... Alright, he might have done that. I don't have Twitter anymore. So if he did put the plus and the or do they in braces, I want to apologize, but like I said, I've been banned from Twitter. Details of Amazon's contract with the Postal Service are secret, making it difficult for financial experts to assess claims about the relationship. Amazon has said that publicly releasing the contract, which contains detailed information on the company's delivery systems, would give competitors an unfair advantage. Translation: we've got the Postal Service doing the bulk of our fucking shit, and we got a really sweet deal on it, and we're porking the American people, and we don't want any of them to know it. Because I don't understand how knowing the information about the company, any information about the company's delivery systems would give a competitor an unfair advantage. It makes absolutely no sense. Because maybe they would bitch about how we're all getting fucked? Huh. Probably. Amazon primarily uses the postal service for the last mile of its deliveries. And I love the last mile in quotes, which is complete bullshit. Because anything I've ever ordered from Amazon, okay, now, I live in New England. I live in New Hampshire. It don't matter if it comes from the East Coast, West Coast, somewhere in between, whatever. From where it was shipped from to my door, the Postal Service does the whole damn thing. So this is a crock of shit. It brings the packages to the post offices closest to the final destination. Bullshit! And then the Postal Service takes it from there. Bullshit! The Postal Service says other companies also have last mile agreements, but it declined to name them. Yeah, because I'm sure there are not a lot. The only companies that have last mile agreements are other delivery companies for the most part. Like FedEx, for example. And they fuck the Postal Service too. The Postal Service is basically the bitch of the delivery service, of delivery services. It really is. Whether, it's delivering for, say, a company like Amazon, or if it's delivering for an actual delivery service like FedEx, they are their bitch. Because it's, we're at a position of weakness. No, you are the fucking delivery service in the fucking country. You have the largest fucking infrastructure. But you're going to be like little submissive fucking bitches? Fuck you. Show some balls. Oh wait, Brennan don't got balls. Does she? I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. Amazon is the leading player in e-commerce, but competes with other retail giants such as Walmart, Macy's, and Costco to offer fast and inexpensive delivery of products. The Postal Service competes with UPS, FedEx, and others for delivery. Yeah, they compete. Well, no, like I just said, they're also, FedEx's bitch, but that's beside the point. DHL, they deliver for too. Because DHL wanted to basically deal with more broad shit. But yeah. Amazon said it spent $21.7 billion on shipping costs in 2017, a figure that includes sorting, delivery center, and transportation costs. Roughly 40% of its packages are delivered by the Postal Service, according to some analysts, a figure neither Amazon nor the Postal Service have confirmed. It is not known how much Amazon pays the Postal Service each year and what percentage of its items are shipped via the Postal Service, which is funny. This 40% is complete bullshit. I love how they pull this out of their ass. What analysts? Please. See, to me, if you're going to make a claim that's, we're trying to play it down. So if you've got a hardcore, number of 40% of packages, only 40, are being delivered by the Postal Service, but it's some analyst, please name them. Your source, please, because I'm calling bullshit on that. And I would put money, that $21.7 billion on shipping, most of it ain't exactly on their end. And these transportation costs, I'd love to I'd love to see what they're figuring in on that. Are they figuring in transportation of like stuff internally? What are we talking about here? And I love how at the end they have to say this. Well, it's not known how much Amazon pays or how much how much they ship through the Postal Service, but we're going to give you this shit here and hope that you buy it. That's just to cover their ass at the last part there. The Postal Service, meanwhile, reported shipping and packaging income of $19.5 billion last year, and 11.8% increase from 1 year before. This increase wasn't enough to stop the Postal Service from losing money for the 11th straight year. That's largely because of the continued decline in first-class mail and high health benefits costs that the Postal Service must set aside for future retirees, according to data released by the agency. See, that's the type of shit that I don't buy that. I truly do not buy that, because the thing is first-class mail, yeah, for what you're shipping and what it's costing, you can make more money, because, you know, if you're talking a letter, for example, it costs you so much for that letter, you know, the price of a stamp. Now, you could put a lot of letters into a small space, so you end up with a lot of mass in a small area. So I can understand how that decline could hurt, but you're shipping all this other stuff. See, that's what they're leaving out, is because you have all these other things that are now being shipped, and they're still first-class mail, or they're 2-day delivery, which to me, you know, the first-class mail takes longer than their 2-day guarantee. And their 2-day guarantee works with most, you know, for most things. So people are doing that. It actually costs more to do it than to mail first class in a lot of cases. Unless you're using those boxes where you fit it in the box, you can ship it. And this whole thing of health benefits costs, okay, for future retirees. The Postal Service has been doing this right along. It's a known expense. So to me, bringing that up, oh, well, they're going to put aside all the... No, they've always had to put all this money aside. That's not a factor. That's part of their normal operating cost. So why not talk about their fuel? Why not talk about their transportation? Why not talk about all those other things? See, this right here is to basically, well, it's not Amazon's fault. It's those pesky postal workers with their retirement benefits. I mean, this is pretty desperate when you'll do that. Try to friggin' blame the decline in first-class mail when they're shipping more packages, like, you know, than they are, like, letters. And health benefits. Oh, my God. Disgusting. Very disgusting. Let's blame the American people. Delivering packages has been a financial boon to the Postal Service in an otherwise tumultuous time, but experts say it's an open question whether Amazon's arrangement fully compensates the Postal Service for its range of expenses. Probably, to me, it sounds like it doesn't. While the Postal Service is legally prohibited from charging a shipper less than it costs to deliver a package, the Postal Service is not required to include its costs, things such as retiree benefits. Okay, so this is a nice little thing. I'm sure they're letting this slip here, because the actual physical cost of, and I don't even know if they're including labor in this, because to me, retiree benefits would be part of labor. So it sounds like they're getting away with not including the cost of labor, and it's literally what it costs in fuel and all that other shit otherwise to ship a package. So Amazon sounds like their deal is probably working on this, and they're not covering the full cost of the labor on it. Which would mean that it's costing the American people, because we have to pick up the slack somewhere. David Vernon, an analyst at Bernstein Research, estimates that Amazon pays the Postal Service roughly $2 per package for each delivery, about half of what Amazon would pay if United Parcel Service or FedEx. He based this estimate on a broader data released by the Postal Service, which the funny thing is I bet you they're paying even less than that. I would put money on it, because we've got a secret agreement. And when the government makes deals, I think that should all be public, because then we wouldn't have this problem. We would know exactly what they're paying, which to me, the only reason why they would have any reason, the only and any reason they would have, would actually probably sound better. Any and only reason they have, the any and only reason, any and only reason. Actually, that sounds like shit. Basically what I'm getting at, pretty much the only reason that they would make the agreement secret is because of the deal itself. Not because of, an unfair advantage to competitors. Stupid shit like that. It doesn't make any sense. And I bet it's because they're paying even less than that $2. The Postal Service has tried to rapidly adjust its business model to take on more package delivery, but he said it would be better suited if it delivered fewer packages at a higher rate. In my business judgment, there's too much package in the postal network, he said in an interview. If you doubled the price, you would have fewer of them, but you would make money off of what is left. Which does make sense. See, the thing is it's more than that. I mean, it's about the deals that they have and everything else. Still, Postal Service officials, both in meetings with Trump and publicly, have insisted that they are making money off their arrangement with Amazon. Well then, make the fucking agreement public and prove it. Put your money where your mouth is, put up or shut up, and show the fucking agreement. In January, Postal Service spokesman David Partenheimer wrote an op-ed in the Hill newspaper pushing back against calls for it to raise package rates. And I love this next, this quote from it. Some of our competitors in the package delivery space would dearly love for the Postal Service to aggressively raise our rates higher than the marketplace can bear, so they could either charge more themselves or siphon away postal customers, he wrote. The Postal Service is a self-funding public institution that generates its revenue from the sale of postal products and services. We compete for every customer across all our products and categories, and we exist for the benefit of American business and consumers. Real feels over reals. I mean, because the thing is which competitors? You have pretty much FedEx and UPS. So which competitors? And from there, they're still charging more than you do. Why would, when they charge more, they dearly love for you to raise your rates to higher than the marketplace can bear? That makes absolutely no sense. They don't want you to raise your rates to a competitive level, which is what anyone would want, which was what anyone would think you should do, is make your rates competitive. Not raise them above the market, what the market can bear. Jesus. And this is a spokesman for the fucking, oh my god. Is he sucking Bezos' dick? And if you are a self-funding public institution that generates revenue from sales of postal products and services, okay, wouldn't you want to make your products and services appealing to the American people, while making yourself profitable at the same time? Just saying. Because the Postal Service has lost money for 11 straight years, it has had to repeatedly borrow funds from the Treasury Department's Federal Financing Bank, totaling $15 billion. Its reliance on Federal Financing Bank funds has allowed Mnuchin, one of Trump's closest advisors, to gain a foothold in its future. No! The Post... Alright. I'm sorry, but... when you run your business at a fucking deficit for 11 years, not like you or I could do that, or most businesses could do that, but when you're, say, a government agency or a government entity, and you're doing that, the Don't you think someone from the fucking government should step in, take the reins away from you, maybe steer it in a fucking profitable direction because you're running it into the goddamn fucking ground? I mean, to me, common fucking sense that kind of, goes along those lines. One of Mnuchin's counselors, Craig Phillips, is leading Trump's review of the Postal Service, along with Kathy Kraninger, Associate Director for General Government at the Office of Management and Budget. It is due in August. The review group is tasked with reviewing the package delivery market, the Postal Service's role in that market, and the decline in the first-class mail volume, among other things. It is required to recommend changes to the White House and Congress. This is a lot of fluff in here. The Postal Service is overseen by a board of 9 governors, which pick the Postmaster General and the Deputy Postmaster General. Currently, there are no governors serving on the board, though Trump has nominated 3 individuals who are awaiting Senate confirmation. The Postal Service, led by the Postmaster, who works out contracts with private companies that are approved by an independent federal agency, the Postal Regulatory Commission, which also assesses each year whether the contracts are in compliance with the law. Amazon has a multi-year contract with the Postal Service, and it is not clear how quickly it could be changed. Well, I love how they throw in this unrelated stuff. And the thing is, alright, the bottom line is this is a secret contract that was done by a group that pretty much can do what the fuck they want. That's bureaucracy for you. Wine them and dine them, throw them some hookers, and boom. You get yourself a sweet deal with the Postal Service. Trump's attacks on Amazon date to 2015 when he accused Bezos of using the Post as a tax shelter to allow Amazon to avoid paying taxes, a false accusation. Amazon is a publicly traded company, and the Post is wholly owned by Bezos is private. The company's finances are not intermingled. The Post's editor and Bezos have also declared that he is not involved in any journalistic decisions. Oh, bullshit! And why are you writing this article? Because he's involved in journalistic decisions. To claim when you are literally writing a propaganda fucking bullshit article for Amazon, to claim that Bezos has no involvement in the journalistic decisions is complete and total bullshit. And probably one of the stupidest fucking things you can do when you're putting out an article like this. Holy shit. And it's a tax shelter for Bezos himself, which is what Trump said. Holy shit. Because I love how you take him out of context, but you put fucking Bezos' tweet in response out there. Why not take the actual fucking tweet from Trump back in 2015, where he accused Bezos of using the Post as a tax shelter for himself? Oh, because then you couldn't push this narrative. Finally trashed by real Donald Trump. Will still reserve him a seat at the Blue Origin rocket. Send Donald to space. Bezos, who owns a space company, tweeted in December 2015. This angered Trump, who at the time was fighting for credibility during the GOP primary. We weren't even really up to the primary part yet. I love this revisionist shit here. Trump takes everything personally, said Steve Moore, a former economic advisor to Trump during the 2016 campaign. Yeah, alright. And what did he say after that personally thing? See, this is such bullshit. Moore said he has told White House officials that Amazon is paying the Postal Service plenty for its services, and in fact helping the agency survive. How are they helping the agency survive? It's been running an 11-year fucking deficit towards billions of dollars in debt. How is that helping them survive? That's complete and total bullshit. But others say Trump sees one company exploiting the government for a competitive edge. Amazon's stock price has risen close to 70% in the past year, and a growing list of competitors have complained that they have had a hard time competing with the giant company on delivery, its cloud computing business, and more. Right, because it's got this sweet fucking postal service deal where they pretty much deliver all of their fucking shit that's going out of Amazon package-wise. Okay, the food and shit like that, obviously they're not. And that's what they're trying to say. Oh, well, that I'm sure they're figuring that in their total postal delivery service packaging, postal service delivery shit. I think this particular issue is one that he comes at from his business background and understanding the dynamic of cost and delivery and overhead. Yeah, Rep. Mark Meadow, RNC, said of Trump's approach to the postal issue with Amazon. And so, when you pull all those components in there, it allows him to probably have a position on this that is deeper rooted in an understanding of a business model than perhaps some other presidents. Exactly. And what gets me is that you would end with this. And I think the reason why you ended with this is because even though you pushed all this other shit, well, look what we said at the end. Look at the quote that we put. This is clearly propaganda for Bezos and Amazon. And it's kind of funny that they think people are just going to read this and buy into this shit and go, well, Amazon getting a good deal. Amazon ain't doing nothing wrong. Bezos ain't doing nothing wrong. Who cares if he owns the paper? Well, we'll just buy this at face value. I mean, anyways, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.